Isaiah walked naked. Ezekiel had to lie on his side for about 300 days on the right hand side.
Ezekiel was eating dung.
Yeah.
Commanded by the Lord.
Yeah, and he ate dung too. So on the right hand side he lied for about 300 days. On the left hand side for about 100 days. Like you say, the Most High made them do these things.
Yeah.
So we really was disconnected from the world. The world looked at.
So in the eyes of the world, we're weirdos, pretty much, you know. Like what we're doing right now. Here this is a Saturday evening, and we're supposed to be doing the law, getting around, you know, talking to girls and just getting into some club or party or a pub. We're here doing the work. We're here doing something that's not normal. It's out of the norm. So this is where going, brother.
This is Matthew chapter 11, verse 13, and it says, "For all the prophets," verse 12, "and from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence."
So what does that mean? Is it talking about an actual? Is this talking about an actual kingdom? No, it's representing a people which is going to formulate the kingdom, which suffereth violence, which that's happening right now to this very day going.
And the violent take it by force.
And the violent take it by force. Who was known as the violent? The Roman Empire. Go on.
All the prophets and the law prophesied until John. And if you will receive it, this is Elias, which was
for to come. Yep.
He that hath ears to hear, let him hear.
Yep.
But whereunto shall I liken this generation?
Yep.
It's like unto children sitting in the markets and calling unto their fellows.
That's what we're doing right now. Aren't we in the marketplaces? You got businesses over there. You got businesses going on downstairs in the train mall. Okay. So we're in the marketplace. Go on.
And saying, we have piped unto you, and ye have not danced. We have mourned unto you, and ye have not lamented.
So what are we? So what song are we singing? We're singing the words of the Heavenly Father. All right, go on.
For John.
So because you haven't piped, and this goes back to what I was saying earlier before. There's a lot of our people, they're not getting hit to the song. So because they're not getting hit to this song, they're going to be destroyed. Okay, go on.
For John came neither eating nor drinking, and they say he hath a devil.
Right.
The Son of Man came eating and drinking, and they say, behold, a glutton, and a winebibber, a friend of publicans and sinners.
Right, so Yahweh Shah was amongst people that was considered pretty much the inconsiderate. Shalom, brother. You know? And that's why they didn't like him. Because of his appearance, and also John, what John was doing. John was eating and drinking, and they said he was a devil. So even if let's say they didn't do it, they would still call him a devil.
Yeah.
Go on, brother, because the true prophets of the Lord, the true men of the Heavenly Father, were not liked amongst the public. Always happened throughout history.
Outcasts.
Right, they were considered outcasts as well. Go on.
Yeah, that's all that. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah. So go back to. What did I have you read before? Yeah, Revelation 11, yeah.
So this is Revelation, back in Revelation 11 and 8.
Yeah.
And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry.
Right. Why would they rejoice over them and be glad? Because when he was in power, he was setting the tone. He was pretty much putting these nations in order. So that's why they rejoice at our downfall. And also that's so that they can live good and live happily ever after and maintain their imperialism, such as you have it right now. The revival of this ancient Roman Empire. Go on.
To make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because the two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth. And after 3.5 days, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet.
What are we doing now? What are we doing now, brothers? Are we sitting down?
Standing on our feet.
Are we crawling on our knees? We're standing up. Doing the work. Okay? And what else are we doing? We're out here in the highways and the hedges. Pursuant to the book of Luke, the 14th chapter. It says that he told his servants to go out into the highways and the hedges and to bring them in to the marriage. So the Lord never said to the disciples, set up a building or a church and then go teach the people. No, he said, go out there to the streets. Okay? Where the people them can see you live and direct, live in color going. Amongst these freaks as well, man. You know? And that's why they don't want to come out here, because you got to deal with freaks and you got to deal with all these different elements. Go on, brother.
So verse 11. Oh no, yes, sir. And they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them.
Right, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. You know who was really afraid? That saw us stand upon our feet, the powers that be. Because they know this prophecy very well. And they also know that when we stand upon our feet and we proclaim this truth, that means that this society is going down. That means that they know also what's coming next for them is slavery.
That's right.
All right, let's get that, brother. Let's get Psalms 47, man. Because these people, these Rothschilds, man, and these different royal families, they're gonna be put at the bottom, and their whole entire race is gonna be put at the bottom.
That's right.
But it's just gonna start from the mountain on down, and then it's gonna go from there. Okay. And we're gonna be the new posh guys on the block. We're gonna be the ones in regality and royalty.
New kids on the block.
Right. Exactly. Go on, bro.
Yeah. Psalms 149 and 2. Let them praise his name in the dance. Let him. No, it's like verse 4.
You could read where you was at.
So,
They shall praise
verse
the Lord
6.
in the
Verse
dance.
6. It's like verse 6. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and the two-edged sword in their hand.
We're gonna have swords. Oh man, we're gonna have swords, brother. Oh shit.
Ain't gonna be for battering no bread as well.
Yeah, man.
I thought the Most High was all love. I thought the Lord was not about that. That's what it says. It says we're gonna have a two-edged sword in our hands. Go on.
And the two-edged swords in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen.
Right, to execute vengeance upon the heathen. So everything that the heathen have done unto us, we're gonna do it back unto them. You understand? And that's gonna balance everything out. Like for example, mathematically, if you put the two negative numbers together, what do you get? A positive. You see what I'm saying? So they have to get the payback, man. Like James Brown made a song called The Big Payback. And the payback will be big. Of course, yeah. Go on, brother, because what's gonna happen is they're gonna lose everything that they stole and all of the wealth that they've gained from our free labor, right? And they're gonna result to having nothing. They're gonna result to being slaves and being dependent like how we were dependent on them. Roles are gonna switch now. Go on, brother.
Yeah, it said, let them praise the Lord in the dance.
Yep.
So when we're delivered, we actually gonna be dancing in the chariots and then come down to get busy and execute the judgment of the Lord.
That's right, brother. That's right. Yeah. You know, Jake know how to dance, man. Go on, brother.
Verse 7. To execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishment upon the people.
Right, and punishments upon the people. Who is these people? These other nations too, because we're not going to just punish the Edomites. We're going to punish all of these other nations because at one time or another, they had us in derision too. So they have to get it as well. Everybody's going to get it. They're not just going to walk up scot-free, walk up into the sunset. Nah, man, they're going to get their ass whipped as well. Go on, brother.
To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron.
And that just don't mean the Rothschilds. We're going to bind up the kings among all of these other nations, because you have the elite amongst the Chinese, you have the elite amongst the Japanese, you have the elite amongst the East Indians, which are the Moabites today, right? The Ammonites, which are, as I said, the Japanese. You have the elite amongst the obviously the Edomites, which are the Rothschilds, and all the above. So we're going to bind all of these kings together, and pretty much they're going to be put into captivity.
That's right.
Go on, bro.
Verse 9. To execute upon them the judgment written.
Right, to execute them upon them the judgment written. So we're going to judge them according to what is written in this book here, according to the law, what they have done. Go on.
This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord.
Right, this honor all his saints. Praise ye the Lord. Who are the saints? Let's read that, brother.
Psalms 148, 13. Let them praise the name of the Lord, for his name alone is excellent.
Right.
His glory is above the earth and heaven.
Yep.
Verse 14. He also exalteth the horn of his
Say
people.
what, brother. I'm going to have you speak now. Go on, brother.
He also exalteth the horn of his people.
Yep.
The praise of all his saints. even the children of Israel.
Right, even to the children of Israel. So now we know who the saints are. The saints are the children of Israel. Okay? So when it says let the high praises be in the mouth of the saints, that's talking about the Israelites.
Oh, when the saints come marching in. Yes, brother.
There you go, bro. Yeah, exactly.
And the reason why they're marching in is because soldiers march.
Yeah, bro.
And it says that we would stand upon our feet and as a multitude of soldiers. It says that in the scriptures. I'm roughly paraphrasing that.
And it also says in the song, I want to be a part of that number.
Ooh.
See?
That 144, man.
Yeah. That's why it says that's why it says he that endureth to the end shall have the nations for their inheritance. Because that's a part of the inheritance we're gonna have as slaves. Because see, what makes you rich, right? What makes you see, the thing about it is, right, in this society we were told that the money that we hold in our hands makes us rich. But guess what? The money that you have in your hand or in your pocket or that you have in your bank account is worthless. Okay, that's why it changes its value frequently. So when you have land, let's say you have ownership of land. Right there on that land, you could establish businesses. Okay, there's gold that comes from land. There's all kind of natural resources that can make you rich just by the equity of the land. So we're gonna have land. We're gonna have access to a large amount of land.
Right.
Slaves, that's riches too. Because what do you do with slaves? They work your empire, they keep your empire going. This is why Great Britain is where it's at right now. This is why you got people walking around with billions of dollars or billions of pounds. Why? Because the modern day slaves have been pretty much putting work into their corporations.
That's right, brother.
So we're gonna have corporations, just like how Esau got corporations, but the only difference is that they're gonna be the slaves.
That's right.
We're gonna be the employees. They're gonna be the employees.
And I was telling these two brothers earlier this week about how I was talking to some Amalekite, a so-called Jew, and I was talking about how the system's corrupt and it's unfair. And he out of his own mouth, he said, look, in order to have a flourishing society, you have to have inequality.
Yes.
That's what he said. He said you have to have
And he's
people
right
at the
about
bottom.
that. He's right,
So
yeah.
he cut himself because that's going to come back to bite us.
Exactly. No, but he's right. Even though what he's saying it seems like it's the wrong thing, but he's right. All societies function. You have to have the poor, and you also have to have the rich. But the difference is that they're going to be the poor. We're going to be sitting pretty and being the rich, and our corporations are going to be gigantic in wealth and equity because of what the slaves that we're going to have. That's why you got people that are owning all kind of multi-billion companies. Where you think they get that money from? They got it from our ancestors. That's where they got it from. Go on, brother. That's how empires are formulated and structured because of the slaves under him. Go on, brother.
And people near unto him, Psalms 148 and 14, he exalteth the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel.
Right, even unto the children of Israel, go on.
And people near unto him, praise ye the Lord.
Praise ye the Lord. So when people say, oh, slavery ain't right and all this other stuff, I mean, you could say that because the wrong people were in slavery. So on that piece, you can say that. But biblically, it was always going on anyway. Okay? Now let's say, for example, your father had his own business, right? And he had his sons work. You're a servant unto your father. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not wrong with slaving for your father because guess what? You and your father is building together. And you're building your own empire all together. Okay? And then therefore when your father passes on, he'll leave on the business that he built it up for himself. Therefore the son becomes in the same position as his father. So there's nothing wrong with it. Alright? It's just ways how it's done. Esau did it all wrong. Go on, bro. Oh, that's it on that. Come on. Yeah, so I think I've said what I had to say, man. I'm gonna let this brother speak.
Read that again, the last one. About the slave.
This is the Psalms 149 and 5. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand.
Yeah, exactly, man. Because let them sing upon their beds. In the kingdom, you just mentioned what we were talking about in the week, and that spiritual. I was telling these brothers also that everything in the kingdom is going to be for a pleasure, man. We're going to wake up in our beds and actually be singing the praises of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, man. Okay? Because whilst the whilst we're singing and praising the Lord, it says what? Let a two-edged sword be in the hand. Read that. Go on, read it.
Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen. To execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people.
See, so that's that dual activity of continually praising the Lord, but also carrying out the judgments of the Lord, man. You know? Go on.
To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. To execute upon them the judgment written.
Exactly, the judgment's written, man. You know? Because even by our name, Israel, Yasha Allah, he's the prince of the power. That already proves that we're not meant to be slaves, man. As the elder was saying, okay? You can say slavery is wrong. Yeah, it is wrong because the wrong people are in slavery. But when the right people are in slavery, that's correct. Okay? That's just, that's their position, man. Okay? You know?
So that's it. Because in Jeremiah, that's why it says, they whose judgment, in Jeremiah 49, it says, they whose judgment was not to drink the cup of the Lord, man, and they have drunk it, man. So that was us. We were never supposed to go into these things that we went through. We were given an option, man. We were given a life, and we were given death. But Jack, you know, we chose death, man, pretty much, man.
Let's get that Deuteronomy 28. If you will obey my word, these laws, statutes, and commandments, you know, because it's all a lesson of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yashai anyway. Okay, but as the brother was saying, we chose death, which we were predestined to go off, man. Because the Lord gave us two options. If you want to obey my word, I'll bless you, I'll make you the head and not the tail. Go on, get it.
This is Deuteronomy 28 and 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day.
Salakia, when you keep reading, I want to make a point. When you come into the knowledge and understanding of the scriptures, you soon learn to put aside emotions, man. Okay? Because all of what's going to be read right now is one big lesson to us from the Lord. The Lord could have made it where, okay, they're always going to be right, they're never going to go off, and we would just be like, okay, this is righteousness. Okay? But in that, if that was the case, we would never be gods. Okay? Because the word, when you get into gods, in Genesis it says knowing good and evil.
Right.
Okay? So, and Psalms 86 promises us that we will be gods.
Right.
I have said that ye are gods.
You shall die like men.
Exactly. So to attain that level of being like a god, not like, but we will be those powers, okay, we have to know good and evil. And the Lord started that lesson all the way back as recorded in Deuteronomy 28. Go on.
To observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy power will set thee high, will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Exactly. So if we kept the law, statutes, and commandments, we would be at the top.
And all these blessings shall come on and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto thee, unto the voice of the Lord thy power.
Read a couple of them.
This is verse 3. Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed thou shalt be in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep.
Now we could read on, but that's going to be time consuming. But basically, this is not the case for Israel right now, man. Okay, we're the complete opposite. We're not blessed in the field, alright? You go to work and there's problems, man.
What is the field, brother?
The world. The world, the earth, yeah. You know? But what do you do in the field? You work, man. You know? So we're not blessed anywhere in this earth. We're not blessed when we work, man. You know? Okay, what did it say? Blessed shall thy basket be. Read that.
Verse 5. Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store.
Yeah, thy basket and thy store. So when you go to work and you come home, you're going to have something in your basket to show for that labor, man. Okay? But if the Lord's blessing you, you're going to see an increase on that, man. You're going to be doing well. Is that the case for Jake right now? For Israel? Hell no, man. Go on.
Verse 6. Blessed thou shalt be when thou comest in, and blessed thou shalt be when thou goest out. The Lord shall cause thine enemies to rise up against thee, to be smitten before thy face.
That's not the case, man. Okay, our enemies are the ones that are smiting us, man. You know? Go on.
They shall come out against thee one way, and flee before thee seven ways. The Lord shall command the blessing upon thee in thy storehouses.
Right, now go to the curse. Go to the curse.
Deuteronomy 28 and 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee.
Yeah, so basically, the Lord predestined it and programmed Israel that they would go off. Okay, because as we were saying, Deuteronomy 28 is the lesson, the beginning of the lesson that Israel is to learn and are still in the process of learning. Okay, but we're at the end of this lesson right now, man. Okay, go on.
Can I speak to you?
Go on.
You've got some guys up there that are saying that the West Africans aren't Jakes because it says here that all these curses shall come upon them, which, you know, they just don't have an understanding of what that means.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so
Go on.
In that real quick, Salakia. It's at Romans 8 and 20, and it says, for the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by the reason of him that subjected the same in hope. Okay, we are the creature that was made subject to vanity. Okay, the Lord, because the Lord could have gave us that first covenant at the beginning, where he puts his laws and statutes in our inward part, but the Lord gave us what he calls a stony heart. Okay, a stony heart. That means, you know, our own selves, we were wicked, man, within ourselves, man. Okay, we knew we knew we had the laws written, we knew what to do, what was right, but we really couldn't do them. Okay, and again Romans 7 and 14, and it says, for we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin. For that which I do, I allow not. For what I would, that I do so like he said, for what I would, that do I not, but what I hate, that do I, man.
And that's the wicked that's within us, man. That's the sin. Okay? Even now, man, we're knowledgeable, man. And not being boastful, but the Lord's put the Spirit on us to understand the truth of the scriptures, man. Okay? You'll know certain laws, alright? And something within you still wanted to do the wrong thing, man. Okay? The thing that I would, I do not. Okay? And that which I wouldn't, I do, man. Because what, we're caught up in the chains of darkness, man. You know?
Oh, that's
That's
deep.
Salakia. I've got another one. This is 2nd Ezra 3, and I'll start from 16, and it says, and unto him thou gavest Isaac, and unto Isaac also thou gavest Jacob and Esau. As for Jacob, thou didst choose him to thee, and put by Esau. And so Jacob became a great multitude. And it came to pass that when thou ledest his seed out of Egypt, thou brought them up to Mount Sinai, and bowing the heavens, thou didst set fast the earth. Salakia. And bowing the heavens, thou didst set fast the earth, movest the whole world, and madest the depths to tremble, and troublest the men of that age. And thy glory went through 4 gates of fire, and of earthquake, and of wind, and of cold, that thou mightest give the law unto the seed of Jacob, and diligence unto the generation of Israel. Okay, going back when the Lord brought us out of the land of Egypt, the Lord gave Moses the laws, statutes, and commandments to give Israel. Okay, and it says, verse 20. And it says, verse 20, and yet tookest thou not away from them a wicked heart, that thy law mightest bring forth fruit in them. Okay, so the Lord kept us in this. He gave us a law, but He kept us with this in these same wicked bodies that He gave us in the beginning. Okay, like compared this time period when the Lord brings us out of this captivity, the first thing He's gonna do is change our bodies, man. Okay, in the twinkle of an eye, you shall all be changed. But it never happened that time. That time, the Lord kept us in these evil bodies, man. And He says that the law might bring forth fruit in them. And what was the fruit about breaking the law, for example? Death, man. Slavery, death, captivity, other nations ruling over us. All right, like the brother was trying to say earlier on that what did you say earlier on, man, about the Lord making a point not to so that we can be gods.
Oh yeah,
you know.
No good in you.
No, yeah, you know.
So like, and that proves that it's the Most High that actually put that stony heart within us. Because as this precept was talking about Sinai, the chariot came down and rested over Mount Sinai, man. Okay, and the Lord said to Moses, tell the people not to come near your wives for 3 days and sanctify yourselves, because on the third day in the morning the Lord will come down upon the mountain, man. Okay.
And what does the number 3 mean, brother? What does number 3 symbolize?
Is that purity?
No, it means resurrection.
Oh, so like your resurrection. Can't, you know? And basically, when the Lord came down in the chariot, it said that there was thunderings and the sound of the trumpet, the shofar, and the earth quaked, man.
The earth trembled underneath Him.
You know, and they set the boundary between the Mount Sinai and the congregation. And they said that any man or any beast that goes past this must be shot through, because that mountain was a holy mountain. So here you have the chariot coming down, and what happened? The people ran away, man. Okay, because before that they all gasped. Oh yeah, well the Most High's gonna come now. You know, we're gonna see something. They thought it was a joke, man. They thought that the law and the covenants and the statutes was some sort of optional thing. Okay, because a covenant is something. It's like a business agreement. Okay, you've got to see that through. Otherwise, there's repercussions for that, man. Okay, so when they saw the chariot came down, they fled, man. They ran the opposite direction, and they said to Moses, "You speak to us, man. We don't want to hear from the Most High. Okay, lest we die." Okay, you know, but that proves that showed the importance of the law. But still, man, what did the Lord say to Moses?
It's not flashing or anything.
Give it time, you might flush.
No, that's a chariot, I'm certain.
It's a lot different from the other ones.